Starting the day off with a donation to Tufts Medical Center to get the day rolling with some good vibes and help out people on the front lines who are doing awesome work to keep people safe.
Runner and fellow WGBH employee Greg Shea came up with an idea called Backyard Boston Marathon. And he joins us now to talk about it. Welcome, Greg. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Thanks for having me on.
Great to have you. I guess I can still say Happy Marathon Monday because of you.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, maybe not the official version that we sort of all were hoping for, but something fun to do anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, the official one has been postponed to September, but what do you have in mind today? How does this work? Do you have to run 26 miles, or what are the rules?
No, so yeah, it's very grassroots, no rules at all, Joe. It's really just a grassroots kind of idea to do something to honor the marathon, to do something fun, and to help out, the community, and specifically people affected by COVID-19. I came up with this idea of just running whatever distance you feel comfortable with, or going for a walk for 2.62 miles, or, maybe it's 26 laps around your coffee table, but just something to get out there, to move around, and whatever people decide to do on their own, if they could just do a hashtag Backyard Boston Marathon and put that up on social media. The real brainchild of the idea was formed with me and the podcast How Was Your Run Today with Brian Gould and Peter Biller, who are also WGBH employees.
And to once again kind of get people together virtually, I guess the hope here is by the end of the day, with this hashtag spread around everywhere, it will be kind of a communal experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's we're all separated with social distancing, as we should be doing with, dealing with this pandemic. But this gives us an idea. It's where social media, I think, can sort of maybe work its best, where you feel like you're connected to people, even though we're not physically with each other.
Okay, Heaney, you ready?
Greg, you're encouraging people on this video that I saw to actually continue to raise money and consider charity in the process. Maybe not on the scale of the Boston Marathon, but to do something to help people while they're at it.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like racing and running a marathon is so connected to charity. I think Dave McGilvery and the BAA have really made that a huge part of the race over the years. So it just seems natural to connect it to some sort of charity component. So my family and I are going to donate to Tufts Medical Center, where we have a close connection with. They've taken care of some family members, and just, they've set up a fund to help people on the front line, nurses, doctors, respiratory therapists. Mm-hmm. So I think that's just a really nice way to kind of feel like you're doing something active, when a lot of us are kind of confined to our houses,
We're talking to Greg Shea about the Backyard Boston Marathon, and he's encouraging you to use that hashtag, Backyard Boston Marathon, with whatever it is you choose to do today. Did you do the relay yet, or you're going to do 26 miles in your living room, right?
So we're just kind of waking up around the household. My wife, I think, is going to be first one out of the gate. She's got her running stuff on, and I think to get a full 26.2 miles, it's going to kind of play out in an unseen order.
Did you recreate Heartbreak Hill? I mean, what's the tough part of the course here?
There is a little bit of a hill in our yard and sort of around the block. We're going to kind of play out the full scope of the thing, but it won't compare to Heartbreak for sure, having done that hill, but we might have our own little mini version.
Thanks for bringing us something nice to talk about on this day we would otherwise probably not be running. Greg Shea, remember what he said here, instead of running the course, do it in your own neighborhood. It's called the Backyard Boston Marathon. And Greg, I appreciate your coming in to talk to us this morning. Good luck to you and the family.
In honor of the Boston Marathon, we are going to do 2.6 laps in our house.
Our very own Heartbreak Hill to do 26.
All right, Boston Backyard Marathoners. I'm about halfway through what I'm hoping to do today. So I'm on my,
All right, Courtney, go get it! Woo!
on my 13th loop around the neighborhood, and I'm gonna see if I can give you a little tour. We're going down Buckingham. If you're wondering why our streets look so good, that's courtesy of the Columbia gas disasters. We're coming up on the Ryland's house.
Hi, I'm Scott Ryland. I'm 44 years old, and this is the story of my first marathon.
You own this thing, hands up!
So we're gonna turn right here, and this is the best part of the course because it's downhill and has a pretty flat sidewalk. This is where I shake it out.
Andrea, give me one line about the Backyard Boston Marathon. Your thoughts, go. I loved it. It was the most I've run this year, which was amazing. And my best part about it was I've been complaining to Brian that I was like, why do we have to do it that way with the big hill? And the best part of every mile was ending with the sprint uphill.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And we raised money
for the Harvard affiliated emergency medical residence well program.
Awesome.
Phew, I remembered it.
Because I was doing around my block, which was actually a triangle shape, and a full loop was a quarter mile. So I had to do 4 loops to get a mile. But not having to wait for cars or anything, or have to worry about getting hit by anything or seeing too many people, it was so much better just to sort of stay on the same side of the road all the way around. I found a nickel, Brian.
We were doing this thing where I stacked 26 bricks up, and every time I spray painted a finish line in the driveway, and every time you crossed, you had to put a brick over so we could keep count.
I'm on mile 8 of the best backyard Boston Marathon. I gotta say, my family is totally crushing it. Move your brick. There were only 5 bricks left when I left, which means I might not even run 10 miles. I might run 10 anyway. Hope you're staying safe and enjoying your backyard Boston Marathon.
Running with camera stays. Hi, Vash! Go, Sebastian! Go! Now we take a right. Back on to Norman.
Nice job.
I think I'm gonna grab Willow for another loop and hand off this back to Greg. All right, go to it, guys. I hope you're having fun.
Did everybody experience a feeling of being connected, even though it was so separate and individual and no different than, say, going for your average run? But it really, I felt it did have a different feel completely. Like, it felt like a race.
He's gonna do 26.2 blinks. Blink.
Oh, that's one.
Here we go.
Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5.
I went 2.62 miles, and for me that was actually the longest run of the year because I just have not been running very much since the new year. But it was awesome because it was one of those, I had a set distance, you know, kind of like in a race. It's not just, or even a training run, but like you can't quit early. So as much as it sounds like such a short distance, you know, now, but when I'm completely out of running shape, it was actually a lot of effort to keep going.
Here comes the handoff.
I went online afterwards, and it was a little like Saturday with a stat chat where we post, you know, all of our weekend activities, but it was more than that because people were posting in a way that was, you know, stat chat is just, here's a cool thing I did, you know, here's how much I ran this weekend, and this is my training run, and, you know, it was raining. People are posting like such expressive messages.
Happy Patriots Day, everyone. It's an overcast day. The birds are chirping.
Nice work.
It's a perfect day for a run.
Just everybody was posting like how much they felt like part of that community, that there was something happening. And even though it wasn't the Boston Marathon, it was like sort of something to feel like, you know, that void they were filling on the day.
Here she goes.
All right, good luck, kiddo. Take your go slow.
Julie, go.
Go
Go,
slow.
Julie, go.
My backyard is the city of Portland, Maine. This virus has created an incredibly difficult situation for our small local businesses, and many are struggling to survive. As a resident of downtown, I want to do everything I can to support these small businesses, their owners, and the employees. Today, I will run 26.2 minutes. You didn't think I was going to run 26.2 miles, did you? I have arranged with a few local businesses to act as my aid stations. Because we're in Maine, chocolate-covered blueberries, which are just what I need to get me through leg 2. Look at that bagel sandwich. It's my own Heartbreak Hill. Yes, there it is. The finish line. The crowd goes wild, or at least the voices in my head go wild.
This is what's going to go on my tombstone. Hashtag backyard Boston Marathon. Go, keep going, go, Willow, go!
Alright, one more lap.
Go, Hannah, go!
Give me an air high five. Ah, nice.
You got this. Go. Come on, K-Man.
Come on. Oh. Come on, you got it.
Yeah, Kyler. Woo!
Thanks. Thank you.
I'm gonna go in. Hannah's gonna jump in. Kyler, 1 mile in. How fun was it? How much did you love it?
I hated it. It sucked balls.
There were all these people posting about it and having this wonderful experience, and nothing in there indicated how they found out about it or that they associated it in any way with the podcast, which is just fascinating that like it really spread, because I think people just needed this.
It was so fun. Like it oddly felt normal, even though we were doing such a weird thing. But it felt very non-pandemic like, I think, which made you sort of forget about it.
Yeah, it was by far our best day since we've kind of been hunkered down, for sure.
I would agree with that. It felt the most normal, or the most connected, or the most not sad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
not sad.
Thank you. Nice job.
There he is. Way to go, Hannah.
Even as the day went on, more and more neighbors came out kind of asking what we were doing. We had more and more runners. We actually had a couple neighbors that partook. Only one was doing it on our actual block, but we were able to stay away. It was actually great. It was a
couple. We had
that's
Mirabelle.
right. That's right. But one I thought was awesome. So Mirabelle is a 6th grader who lives up the street, and she is on a soccer team with 13 girls. So each of the girls ran a 2-mile leg.
In their own neighborhood.
From
yeah.
their own legs.
Nice.
But we saw Mirabelle running around.
Yeah.
So
We had one point where between our family and 2 separate neighbors, we were all separated because it's, 3 times around for a mile.
Right.
But continually 3 different sort of households doing this thing. So yeah, the neighbor element.
It was awesome.
I had to say, Greg, you pulled a page right out of race director Millinocket Marathon and Mount Desert Island Marathon race director Gary Allen's playbook, which is just throw a pebble and the waves, the ripples just go. Peter, you know, I want to just recognize how many people participated in this event, how many people bothered to write hashtag Backyard Boston Marathon in social media. I don't know where they came from. Like Anna said, I don't know if they listened to the show. I don't know if they saw Greg's video. I don't know if they listened to WGBH that morning and just got inspired.
We don't know.
I think a little of everything. But boy, it was incredible and totally inspiring. And I mean it from the deepest depths of everything I got, which is that just kept me going. That got me inspired to go out and run with my family and do it and contribute to the charity we contributed to. And boy, it buoyed me for the whole day. And I'm so glad that this happened.
Laps left. Backyard Boston Marathon. The neighbor part has been so awesome. You can see my buddy Nick running up ahead in the distance there.
Let's all try to do something positive for a charity of your choice today. I just hope everyone out there is staying safe. If you want, please donate to emergency relief workers. They're like the real heroes at this time. Boston Strong. It's Boston Strong.
How awesome is that? Killing it. Killing it with these lips and the neighbors.
They're encouraging people to complete their marathon in your own space.
Doing this and I made them forget. Going on. So I love it. There's the longer turn. There's the longer turn cheering us on. Best cheering squad. Best cheering squad ever.
And thank you to everyone who participated, whether they're listeners to our show or not. But if you're hearing this and you haven't done it yet, go on to Instagram or to Facebook or to Twitter or try all three and type in a search for hashtag Backyard Boston Marathon tonight and just see all the different things that people did. It is astonishing. And the fact that anyone would take their time and do that, it just shows the power of what the Boston Marathon is and the spirit that Greg was trying to capture, which absolutely came together because people are excellent.
I only have 0.1 left. I have 0.1 left and we're done.
I've logged 25.1 miles now. I'm about to head out the door for my final 1.1 miles and finish up this beast 26.2 hashtag backyard Hashtag Backyard Boston Marathon. I've been going out logging 2 miles every hour since midnight. I'll see you
one more decimal
at the
point.
finish line.
Here I am at my Backyard Boston Marathon, doing my 2.62 miles. Hope you guys are having fun out there.
There it is. All done. We did it. All done. That was it. Woo! We did it. Backyard Boston Marathon complete.
Good job.
Good job, Hanny.
Dad, I guessed it right. I said we finished at 12.
How many hours did it take us?
It's 11:58, and we started at 8:07.
Less than 4, sub 4 for the family marathon. Not bad.
Yay!
It was. I'm glad you're done, but that was awesome.
Look how good Bubba is.
Bubba, you killed it.
Bubba did blink 26 times.
I think Nick just finished too.
Oh, he did? That's awesome.
Nice job, baby. 8:07, finished at 11:58. There are all the totals.